Well, YouTube, Bridge Chev truck back here again. The shop, as I can show you right now, is pretty empty. There haven't been a lot of videos going on. I've been giving you little snippets of her 57, but occasionally we have customers that don't want their cars on social media, and that's what I've had for the last couple months. So it's been kind of hard to walk around and show you everything that's going on here. But the shop is empty, as you see. It's time for her 57. It's Wednesday night. I've been going at this couple hours every night. Fitting this in, taking it out, taking it in, taking it out. It's now in. Heck, it's still hot. I got the old Princess Auto spot welder out and did a really nice job around there. Very tight little seam back in there that I didn't, and this is all visible. I mean, the bumper's here, but I didn't want a bunch of spot welds that had to grind down and body fill right there. That's going to be super. I'll put a couple tacks in there. I got to make a couple little patches around there. This side's good and solid, but she's in. She's done. There's not much more I can do here. Let me pause you for a second and I will turn the light on so you can see underneath. And we're back. So underneath here, I have done as many spot welds as I could get to from the inside. Up in there. And then what I done was through the wheel well, I went the opposite way. And I got the, don't need that up there. Got the spot welds from this side. I could get my welder in there. Up in there, I plug welded from the top side. I put about a 1/2 inch hole in there so that I could fill it in nicely. So that ought to hold it pretty solid. And then my plan is by the weekend, because I can do it now that this trunk floor is in, is mount it on the infamous rotisserie. So maybe tomorrow night I will put the new wheels on that rotisserie and get it over here, because now I have a mounting point. I didn't before. I can mount it on body mounts because there wasn't anything here before. Good and solid, ready to rock. So that's what we're doing there. I had to make sure that was going to fit before I welded it in. Yeah, I know it looks a little wonky there. It has to go, but it does fit. Trust me. I got no springs on the hinges right now, so they're not closing quite properly. But her 57 coming back together. Didn't think I'd get it done, did you? Alrighty. Time to go home, have some supper. Gotta do the day job again. See ya. There's a sight. It's Saturday morning. Jump ahead a few days. I think my last thing I was welding in that trunk floor section, and the reason for that was so I had something to mount the what do you call her there, rotisserie. We're gonna make it medium well with lots of barbecue sauce. But a little hairy putting something on its side like that. You gotta have a lot of faith in your bolts and make sure you tighten everything. This is a homemade job. Pretty much overkill strength-wise. I would have rather seen pins right through here instead of lock bolts, but I think we won't have it on here for very long. I just want to clean up any of this original metal that I didn't get to. Obviously the new metal just needs to be scuffed. Get some of the leftover undercoating out of here, and then I'm going to spray the whole thing with Raptor. And that's pretty much it. I got a couple small holes that I'm sure will get a little bigger when I try and clean them up, weld them up. Doesn't have to be anything pretty behind here. Just got to seal everything up, make sure all the holes are filled. So we'll see what happens when I hit her with the wire wheel and grinder and See what's left of her when we're all done. We'll bring you back when there's something else to see. For now, things are turned on their side. I guess if you went like that, it looks a little better. So, we're on her 57. Cut, grind, weld, repeat. Going underneath. Getting her ready. Hey guys and gals, it's your midday report. We've flipped her back the other way. Did a few patches up in there, painted them black. You can't see them now, but that's the gist of it. And they're a little thin on either side. No one's ever gonna see them. Just same with this one here. I've welded it. I didn't even played with the spot welder because I had to build the whole bottom here with the rocker. The whole trunk was basically gone. So if you're looking at it, you're gonna see spot welds from the other side. Didn't really make any difference. But now what I'm moving on to is the lip here. I had a little crushed area here that I've kind of straightened out. Really nice to be able to hammer on it just sitting here like this. But now, in order to fit the 275s on this thing, we've got this lip here. I've already started. It was welded way out here like this. But I need to roll it almost straight up and down without wrecking the fender. Around here is getting a little bit tight. I don't want to have to cut it. But I may have to cut a couple slits in this to get it to fold over. But we'll see what it does. The things we do for big tires. Anyways, that's where we're at. Hanging in the air. Cool stuff. Just a quick example. there's debates out there whether you leave E-coat on or I always scuff it. But I mean, this is just I'm Raptor lining it. But if this was an outside quarter panel, I would probably take it 99% down to bare metal. And this is why. This was a new floor pan, and I don't know if you can see it. I started clearing it off, and I realized to take a picture of it. It's rusted underneath the E-coat. It was actually starting to bubble the E-coat here and right in there. So I got to keep working this out till I find new metal, because for some reason, maybe it was a scratch and in shipping it got wet, but it was covered E-coat. I think you can see something happening right in here. There's a little bit of texture there. So it's like it's bubbling up from behind. So that's why I always, especially on the outside of a quarter panel or a fender, I strip it right down to bare metal. I don't have a lot of faith in the E-coat. But that's why. Because it's actually rusting underneath the E-coat. As if the metal had a little bit of surface rust on it before they sprayed over it. If you be patient here and listen, let's see what this is right now. Okay, that might have just been a glob of E-coat. It was just a little heavy there. If it was rusted, it probably would have started flaking off right away. It would not have been sticking to the metal anywhere. But that's why. That's why I do it. So you find some clean metal. Anyways, just thought I'd show you. See ya. Well, it's now Sunday, a little past morning. I've got a late start, but that's okay. I got a lot done yesterday to make up for my late start. As you saw in some of the photographs there, we got underneath it, and you're not going to be able to see anything until I turn my light on. Take two. I said let there be light, and there was. Yep. So, we got underneath it. We got all the, what do you call that, Raptor liner sprayed on everything. We did some patches. Some of the inner rockers were rusted a little bit. This one was kind of worse than the rest of them. Did a patch in here. I had continue it underneath here and down the lip and then back on the other side. Someone took rust took a big old bite out of it there is what it did. So I don't think most people would be able to tell I did anything there. I even tried to duplicate a little spot weld just for fun. But anyways, moving on. We, today, I stripped the rest of the stuff out of the dash. No particular reason why I haven't gutted it yet. Probably just so it'd be fresh in my mind, so I know how it all goes back together. Because I don't really document anything, I just wing it. So I took the rest of the knobs out, all the trim, Chevy emblem there. Got rid of the clutch pedal. We're not going to be needing that. So I've got to clean up some of the firewall back in there a little bit, scuff it down a little bit, get some epoxy on it, clean all this up. Floor's ready for paint, underside's ready for paint. I'm going to wait till the end of the day to do that because it gets kind of stinky. I like to paint it and go home. So, like we've seen, the floor's done, the trunk's done. I've got the quarters stripped. There's a few dents I got to fill, and we'll be ready to go for the races here. The only thing the big job I've got to do is the roof. I started on that yesterday. This lacquer paint is not a lot of fun, as you can see. It's everywhere. But we'll get that stripped. I should have blasted everything. It would have been the simpler route. Because anywhere I've blasted it, obviously, it's gone, and it's easy to deal with from there. But anywhere I haven't blasted, I've got to work on. So, progress is being made. Oh, I did manage to hammer out this inside lip. I got her pretty much straight. So hopefully that won't take out my tires. Other than that, not much to talk about. Let's get back at it. Well, the time has come. I've got the long-awaited bare metal here. I just went over it again with 80 to get any little surface rust off. Got all the lacquer paint. I gotta say, if you ever get the opportunity to work with lacquer paint, hey, skip out that day. That stuff is horrible. Obviously it was good back in its day, but it tends to react with the newer paints. So you got to get rid of it all. And it just doesn't like anything. I've tried everything on this thing, and what happens is that the lacquer primer, especially the red oxide primer, heats up and kind of gets gooey. So it just gums up your sandpaper and just sort of smears around. It doesn't actually come off. So I think I mentioned it in my last video. Where'd they go? I found these little guys that will take it down to metal. It leaves a little, if you're pushing a little hard, sometimes it'll hit a groove every now and then, you know, and leave a little scourge or something if you're not careful, but we'll fill that all in. That was my paint shaker you heard shaking in the background there. Great little addition. If you haven't got one of these, I'll tell you, industrial paint shaker. So we're gonna put some epoxy on this bare metal. Oh, Sunday afternoon. Oh, am I zooming in? Uh-oh. Sorry, I shall try that again. That's better. Anyways, I should put this down while I'm trying to carry paint. I'm probably gonna drop it. So we'll bring it back a little later. I'm gonna do the epoxy on as much as I can, and then the underside and the floor pans I'm going to spray with the Hot Rod Satin Black. Alright, we'll bring you back when there's something more to see. See ya. So, Sunday afternoon, 5:30ish. Big cleanup. I had to stop. Got the primer done. It seems the Hot Rod Black, I bought a gallon of it. I should have about a quart left in there, but for some reason I've got no activator. So either I was putting too much activator in, or I've misplaced it. Either way, we're not doing Hot Rod Black this weekend. But I got enough done. I feel like I accomplished quite a bit this week. A couple power hours after work, as well as some... Well, yesterday and today, I got all the messy stuff done. This was needing to be done for a while now. I stripped all the headliner goop. I guess it was like a padding or an insulation sound barrier. It's not going back up. And I threw some epoxy on that. I got to get some more epoxy on it. It kind of sucked it in pretty good. I managed to strip all the dash down today and sand all the, what do you call it there, the lacquer paint off. Got some epoxy on that. I got the roof done, got that all stripped and in epoxy. Got the back window out, back window trim. That was done. Fenders, they've been done for a while, but now they're all coated so they could stop flash rusting on me. I got my wheel well lips tucked in to handle those tires. I got all the rhino lining, or what are you calling that stuff? Raptor done. And this is kind of my dream state here. This is where I've always wanted to get to in the last year. My stuff. Well, her car, wife's car, chassis, engine. I'd love to spend all winter putzing on this stuff, but it's already March and she wants to go to a car show in May. So I got to start moving here. I've got the truckload of parts, that's not the problem. Truckload of, oh, might as well show you. Parts I've been collecting at either swap meets or buying brand new. There's a truckload of them here, plus there's a whole other room over there full of them. Takes a lot of pieces to build a car. I got to get the seats taken over to the interior guy so he can get them done. But I'm going to start a little table here and lay everything out. Lay all my parts out so I can see what I got and what I'm doing. Got a fresh start here, everything's cleaned up now. If you've been following me now for the last year or so, I've been in this shop. And I've done, about a dozen cars in here. In the last year I've painted. Some were just repairs or, full-on paints. Some of them were full restorations, and you guys saw that. Some of them were not. You didn't see them because they were camera shy. A couple of those. But you're going to see everything that happens here. This particular car is not camera shy. So, it is Sunday afternoon. We got the NASCAR on. I don't know if YouTube's got a problem with that or not. But there it is. We're going to watch a little bit of that while we go through all these videos and clip them all together. I don't make videos for views or for subscribers. I make them for, there's a handful of guys out there that back in the day when we started this YouTube thing, they were helping me out and I was watching their stuff. I don't really watch a lot of videos now. I don't really have a lot of time on my hands lately. This place has kind of obsessed me. So what I will be back making videos again, and not for the purpose of generating funds or anything. I don't subscribe to that whole monetization, I guess they call it, to advertise and whatnot. Those who do, hey, more power to you. If it works for you, it works for you. I'm not, I just do it for fun and communication and back and forth. I've kind of switched over to more Facebook than anything else. A lot of you guys out there, if you got Facebook, look me up. So that'll be it for Sunday. See you next week. If we get back out here during the week, I will hit the record button. See ya.